Cleveland. My name is Brad Ward. The man next to me is off-season Case, Big Case Dog at Casey_Kinnamon on the Twitters, the Twitter machine. It is silly season is upon us. We're going to talk all about it. Tommy Rees presser. Stefanski ain't messing around. He ain't taking no questions today. And we've got much more. Maybe even a mock at the end for all of you. Going crazy for the draft. Yeah, good to see you all filing into the chat. Appreciate you all. If you're over on Twitter, hop on over to youtube.com/Orange and Brown Report and join in the fun in the chat on YouTube, or if you feel so inclined in Twitch. Can't forget the guys in Twitch. Appreciate you guys. So what is going on? We are Stefanski was great today. Loved that. It was awesome. It was awesome. Hit like and subscribe. Totally free. Atone for your sins. And helps us out. Helps us out a ton. What's going on, Big Case Dog? How you doing, brother?
Well, despite the fact that it sounds like I've been eating cigarettes, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm hanging in here. I'm excited to talk
great
ball.
To me, man.
You know, this is baritone voice I got going on.
It's like heaven in my ears.
Well, we'll see if that holds up through the course of the show. So far, It's been okay.
Yeah.
Still haven't had the spam, man. No.
Spam. Stefanski didn't want to hear Grossi ask the same question for the next 7 months. Yeah. Good stuff. That's Barry White, not Casey.
I like it. Fumble.
Good stuff. Charlie Chuck, sick as well. Many of us are sick. There's a lot going around. Hey. There's a lot of strains of the stomach flu and the throat and the cold. It's cold everywhere. It's snowing in tropical places.
Snowed on me. That's for damn sure.
I know, man.
But that's it, man. We're gamers. Sick, still here, still reporting for duty, still going to talk ball.
For duty.
Can't stop us.
You missed last week because your daughter's birthday.
I did.
How was that?
It was great, man. It was great. It was much needed time for celebration. We had to put our dog down on the Monday before, so it was kind of solemn going into it. But you know, it's celebration's family. She turned 17. She's getting way too old.
Yeah, man.
Time's a thief. But what are you gonna do?
Time is a thief. Yeah, well said. That's the worst, man, to lose man's best friend.
Yeah.
For me, it like crushed me. So I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
I appreciate it, man. We actually just got his ashes back today.
Yeah.
So we had him cremated and got him back. So we kind of had to like relive it a minute ago, but it's closure, man. It was, I will say this. We hired a company that was able to come euthanize him at our house. It was,
oh, wow.
It's like a dog hospice type thing. And the Dr. Carol was so kind and gentle with him. And we got as much closure as you could possibly get in that scenario, man. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. I made like a shrine to my beagle who passed last year with the ashes and the paw print and everything. And
they did a paw print for us and stuff too. And
and
shaved some of his hair to put in like these little carrying cases for my daughters. So
yeah, they do a good job with that stuff. So it's tough though, brother. I feel for you. Okay, so we already talked about Stefanski. Comes out right to it. No messing around. Last year, it took how long to get to this? It was the talking point.
Every damn time he took the podium, man.
Thanks, Serge. Yeah, he got up to the podium, and that's it, right? I'm calling plays, and I reserve the right to change my mind.
Yep. Got out in front of it. Just cut everybody off with the knees with that. Loved it.
Yeah, I felt like a big fu to everybody. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even give you a chance to ask. And then Jeff Shadell asked him if he could ask a question, and he goes, "No,"
Not today.
and got down.
Yep.
Yeah, it was boss. It was nice. I like it. I like the attitude he's rolling in with. So I hope he keeps that attitude. No nonsense.
Yeah, we're going into year 6, man.
Um.
Not playing games.
So, and then Tommy Rees did a good job, I thought.
Yeah.
Anything that came up that stuck out to you?
Here's what I'll say about it is, as fans, we've been through so many of these, right? And
Sure.
early when you start watching them in your fandom, you can have coaches who win pressers. At this point, you can't win a presser. You can only lose it. And he didn't lose it today. You know what I mean? He kept it right down the middle. I'll say this, man, when you have opportunity to ask coaches questions, don't ask yes or no questions.
Oh God, please don't.
Like, don't do
They
it.
gotta stop, man.
You can ask the same question in a way that allows them to expound without just answering yes or no. You can do it. It's there for you, man. So so we didn't get to learn a lot. I did think it was cool though to learn that he was a ball boy. I didn't know that. Maybe that information got slid in last year and it just came on, and I didn't notice it, but like that was cool. His why is cool. His why, it means something to be here for him. That's cool, and I liked his answer about what characteristics he looked for in a quarterback, and he wants a high level problem solver.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too.
Different answer, not your standard answer.
Yeah,
I like that.
And he played quarterback at Notre Dame, so he probably sees the position a little differently than most people. But like that's what he's looking for, someone that can. And there's so much information you have to disseminate, and in such a short period of time, from the time you leave the huddle to the time you snap the ball to the play. There's so many bits of information you have to be able to take in to solve those problems. So you need a high level processor, and I just think that it's cool that he sees the game in that way.
Yeah, I agree. He sees it through the lens of a quarterback. He always will. And he talked about the difference with tight end and everything. He's very intellectual. He's very well spoken. He's what you would think of when you hear that, he's the hot name, right? Yeah. And he came across well. The yes no questions are insane. And he did speak highly of Milroe, but he wouldn't really comment on his game, more just like the relationship they had. I did hear on the radio today, Baskin and Phelps, I caught just a minute of it on 92.3, were actually playing that, and then they played his presser from the Rose Bowl, that when they went to the Rose Bowl with Milroe, and he was his actual coach, and it was glowing reviews of Milroe. So
Dave played that on Sports for CLE before I came on. They did like a little 10-minute segment before I got on, and I was listening to it, and just to hear the evolution of Milroe and his relationship with Rees, of where they were versus where they ended up, it's definitely made Milroe come off very well.
Yeah, I know the little I know about him. He seems like he's gonna win the interviews. It feels like he's gonna do really well in interviews. Like he's a leader, he's a hard worker, he's a really good, solid kid, and I think that they're a young man, and I feel like that is a big part of why teams are gonna like him, is the leadership qualities and the work ethic and everything. Because he's raw, he's super raw, but the talent's there. It just needs refined. The question is, how long does it need refined for?
And it's his skill set hitting at this time right now. When you look at the championship games, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks are leg heavy quarterbacks. So like it lends itself to what he does. So you're coming in at the right time when it's fresh in people's mind how important it is. So, and you touched on something I think is very important. I think people need to understand the interview process for quarterbacks means more than it does any other position. Your ability to win the room, your ability to be good on the board, to take in that information and regurgitate it right back, just to have great recall. The things that you can do in that interview room can really propel you up draft boards, and you'll see guys skyrocket during this portion right now.
Yep. Which is a good and a bad thing because ultimately you got to trust the tape.
Yep. Yeah,
And at the
that's who you
same
are.
time, you got to use the data for what it's worth. Let that guide you in the tape a little bit, but you can't put too much on the data, too much on the tape. You got to combine those two. And then you got the interviews as well. And you can see guys flying up boards after they're not playing any more games. That gets a little scary, right?
Yeah. You end up with an Anthony Richardson situation where
right. Like, why is he flying up the board? Give me the reason why you've seen all his games and everything about him as a player. What is making him jump 2 rounds on your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That becomes a question for teams.
Milrow would make me less skeptical now because of Rees's relationship with him. So there would be something based on the person itself. You know what I mean? Because they have a working relationship. So if the Browns were to go in that direction, it would lead me to believe that Rees believes he could work this out at the pro level.
Yeah, absolutely. Media catching up to the league's thoughts. Could be, Jack. That's an interesting thing to say.
And it's also like it only takes one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the entire league. It could just be a small subset of the league, or even sometimes one team that really launch a guy in.
Let me go back here. As far as QB coach, and I've been vocal that I would like them to hire a quarterbacks coach as well. You too?
Yeah, I don't look, man. Rees's plate's gonna be full enough, man.
They haven't done this in years, right?
Yeah, Van Pelt was, Christian Jones.
So the cat's out of the bag for me. If they're interviewing for it, I feel like they're going to hire somebody for it, right?
Yeah, or they're using it as an excuse to pick people's brains. They do this all the time.
Yeah,
there's always
Christian
that chance.
Jones.
He was actually the Giants quarterbacks coach, and he was a quality control guy at Minnesota in 19.
He was with Stefanski at Minnesota, right? It goes back to that.
It's a 19 quality control.
Yep.
Well, that was the first thing I did is I went through all the head coaches who got fired and checked out their staffs to see if any of the quarterbacks coaches or offensive coaches had Stefanski links. Those
Minnesota, yeah, exactly.
But because Dable didn't lose his job, I didn't look at New York. I didn't think that was coming.
Yeah. There is a lot going on. So wild stuff with Liam Coen.
Yeah.
As we get into silly season here a little bit, there's one main thing in silly season I want to talk about that pertains to the Browns, but the Coen stuff is insane, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, let me get this right. So he goes to Jacksonville, right? Interviews for their head coaching job, leaves. They fire Trent Baalke, which feels like almost like a cause and effect. Like, you couldn't land the guy we wanted, and they canned him.
Yeah.
You think that was right? I mean, he was literally fired after Coen left.
Multiple people turned down the opportunity to interview because of Baalke. At least that's the thought of why they weren't interested in it. Because if you look personnel-wise, to work with Trevor Lawrence, they have good weapons. You know what I mean? Like, there were so many pluses, but then no one wants to work with Trent Baalke. So I equated it to, Shahid Khan calling him into the office and being like, look, man, we really want to keep you, but none of the cool kids like you. And now they won't sit at the table with us. So now we have to hate you too. So they got rid of him. And then Coen, who was given a raise with the Buccaneers, didn't sign his contract.
No, yeah. So then he goes back.
Yeah.
They got an extension ready for him. Raise, extension. I'm going to stay. He ghosted him.
Yep. No contact.
No contact. Goes back to Jacksonville, and he's going to take the head coaching job there.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Madness, dude.
Which shows you that Baalke was the deal breaker.
For sure. That is just madness, though. I mean, that kind of stuff makes me think twice about a guy's character a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty sus.
That's very
The
sus.
ghosting part, like look, man, you could even just read before you sign that. If you get wind that Balky's going to be fired before you sign your contract, you could literally tell him, like, look, man, I have a head coaching opportunity. I wasn't in on it because of this. This has
Yeah.
changed. Circumstances change. You know what I mean? I don't think
You
they would
don't
have held
have
it
to
against him,
explain.
but like just to ghost someone, that's pretty whack.
Yeah, it's
But
like he
how
was
much different
afraid
would
to
it have
go.
changed the landscape if Coen would have done this from Jump Street and just fired Balky? Because there'd have been other, like Ben Johnson might have been interested in this. There'd have been other,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like and maybe Coen was their number one target the entire time. I don't know, but it just feels like they limited themselves so much in their coach search because no one wanted to work with the dude. And then when you found out you really couldn't get a person, you had to fire the guy anyway. And
Yeah, that's wild. It reminds me a little bit of the Josh McDaniels fiasco with the Colts.
what Irsay?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he bailed on that and went back to New England. I thought that was sus. Remember when he
Dude
did
was on the
that?
plane. He
Yeah.
was like, nah,
Yeah.
not coming.
The brain drain is real in Detroit. Johnson goes to Detroit and Glenn in with the Jets.
Yeah. Johnson went to Chicago and Glenn with the Jets.
Yeah, so I like the decision. If I'm Ben Johnson, who it's not what I expected him to sound like.
No, same.
And but
I
either way,
I didn't realize I never heard him talk before.
yeah,
Until
me neither.
I heard him talk.
Yeah.
Like, oh, never mind.
But if I was him, that's the job I think I would want out of all of them as well. Caleb.
Yeah, in division. There's a lot of moving parts there, and there's a clear thing that you have to fix. You know what I mean?
feel like they have some talent on the roster already.
They do. They got wide receiver talent. They have like Cole Kmet's a solid tight end. Caleb has special tools. They just need to be harnessed.
Yeah.
And but their line needs some drastic improvement. But even beyond that, Caleb needs coached up to get the ball out. Like that's his Achilles heel. I would have argued that Jacksonville's got to be right up there with it, as far as talent that they could offer young players ascending.
Because
But
of
the
Sunshine?
Balky thing, obviously ruined it all.
Because of Lawrence?
Dude, Brian Thomas Jr. I
Yeah.
maintain that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be a top 5 receiver in this league. Like he's freaky
legit.
good. They have decent weapons around that. They have pieces, man. But sometimes that's what you need. You need a coach to mold these pieces. And look, man, it's getting awfully late, pretty early for Trevor Lawrence.
That's
if you don't harness
that's
this
my
quick,
thought.
Yeah, but if you harness it, you'll be fine. But if you just keep letting them be mediocre to, having these seasons, you eventually lose that. And you've already paid the kid. So you need to go all in on and trying to get the best out of him. And maybe that's what their thought is with Coen. Maybe that's their whole angle.
Yeah, it's I don't know about Lawrence at this point. There's some I'm very meh on the whole thing. Like
I couldn't argue with it. But I just also can't argue with his talent level. He's severely talented, man. You just got to figure out how to harness that. Same thing with Caleb. It's not like Caleb blew our doors off this year, but you see flashes of what could be. But can you harness it? It's all about having a plan, So if you have a plan for that player, then you can to get the best out of him. I think that both Caleb and Trevor Lawrence should be top 10 players based on their talent level. If they're coached up.
Yeah. Maybe. Like Lawrence, I'm not sure. I think Caleb should be. Like Lawrence has the talent, yes, but like when I watch Caleb, I'm like, even this year, if you watch both of them, Lawrence, sometimes I'm just like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like what maybe it's the offense. I don't know, but it was just so blah. And Caleb is, at least to me, was exciting to watch and make it explosive plays, even though he wasn't great all the time and he was learning on the job.
Yeah.
So
very volatile. He has to learn how to play within structure. All that hero ball shit's cool, but it can't be plan A. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to be able to win within structure.
Myles Garrett is a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm.
Any shot he wins it.
Well, the list for those scoring at home are 3 AFC North defensive linemen. You know what I mean? Patrick Surtain. I would honestly and none of here's the problem. None of the defensive linemen that are up for it were on world-beating teams, and they didn't run away with sack totals. This kind of same thing happened in 2019, and Stephon Gilmore won it. This kind of has the recipe for a Patrick Surtain Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, he was terrific this year, and nobody ran away with it enough.
Yep.
To
that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Bengals are a little bit of a strange hire at DC. So they fire Lou Anarumo, who by most people's opinion, is a good defensive coordinator. They were terrible on defense this year, but I don't think it was necessarily his fault. And they go to AC Golden, DC, from the Golden Domers.
Yep.
What do you think of that hire?
Well, the Anarumo thing, it's like for years I was begging someone to make him a head coach just to get him out of there. You know what I mean? And I just think it was a personnel issue to where you had some ballers at safety, and you just kind of let him go, and you drafted their replacements with the guys you drafted never really stepped up into those roles. And before long, you had Trey Hendrickson and Hubbard kind of fell off this year. It was a failure of personnel more than it was a failure of coaching, in my opinion. But all the same, if it gets Anarumo out of the division, cool. I'm cool with it. I ain't gonna be mad. I don't know. It's definitely a downgrade, in my opinion, going from Anarumo to Golden.
That's my thought.
And Golden could be fine in a few years. I just think it'll be a little rough transition.
Yeah, definitely. It's not like, there's plenty of retread guys that have done the job in the NFL out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes the selection a little bizarre. You know what I mean? To go there. And they must really like the guy. But interesting hire. And that brings us to our silly season, topic of the night, which comes from Tennessee. And what the hell is going on, Casey? So Tennessee, I don't know why they would do this or why they're speaking on it this way, in this manner. But on Wednesday, Titans president of football operations, Chad Brinker, told reporters they won't pass on a quote-unquote generational talent with the first pick in the draft. They will do their homework on all the prospects, including quarterbacks. Many people took this to mean that they are going to take Hunter. And to the point that out in Vegas, all the sports books have, like at DraftKings, for example, they were 14 to 1 odds, or plus 140,
1400 to 120 or something,
plus 140. So plus 1400 to plus 140 in one day. Jumping everybody all the way up to not Cam, but jumping up there with level with Shador. So that's wild. And did you take it to mean that?
Well, first off, it's smokescreen season. Everybody get your defenses
Silly
up.
Season, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to hear dumb shit.
Yeah.
Okay, it does a couple things. It's getting us doing what we're doing right now, which is speculating. Because even though they said what they said, they didn't attach a player to it. Everyone seems to think Hunter, and I've heard a couple people think that it means Abdul Carter. Because if you're looking just from a non-quarterback, a positional player, those are the two that stick out as tier ones above their respective position groups. And Hunter's weird because I don't think he's the best at either of the things he does, but he does two things.
That's
So if
exactly what
a
I've
team
been saying.
values that and has a plan for that, I can see where they view him as that guy. But it also says one thing. It says they're not looking at quarterback.
Well,
So
that's the thing, right? It doesn't matter who they take. If it's not a quarterback, then it's huge news.
yeah. But it also lists everyone else like, look, they're not interested in quarterback. Maybe we can offer them a ransom to go. If they believe in one of those two dudes, maybe it opens the door for people to start sending them trade packages.
So you think it was like an announcement that they're open for business?
I don't even know if Brinker meant it in that way, but it's going to do that because by saying what they said, that it doesn't, there's no indication that they're looking quarterback. So if a team is all in on Shador, all in on Cam, and they're within striking range, you got to make the call. You got to try. If you believe in those two dudes to be if you believe in one of those two dudes to be top 8 quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to try. I don't know who views them as that. I currently don't, but it doesn't mean that someone doesn't. So it kind of
Somebody will.
opens the door. Yeah, I mean, we're in such a quarterback needy league. We just had 5 of 6 draft picks in the first round hit, and you're still needy. That just shows you like how bad it is at that position, man. You never have double digit good ones at the same time. Like the people cycle in, cycle out. As guys come in, guys are leaving. And to consistently win and to be an actual championship contender, you got to have a top 8 dude, man. This in 2002, you're not going to win. You're not going to win with Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's the question that ultimately. So say say they are just being truthful, and once again, caution. It's silly season. This stuff is crazy, right? But say they want Travis Hunter, right? And they don't want one of these quarterbacks. You trade down, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
What do they feel the range is where they could trade down and still have a shot at Hunter, though?
You can't go much further than 3.
3 or 4, right? That's kind of where
the
my
Giants could come up, which puts the Browns in the same situation, unless the team that goes up is going up to get Shador. But I mean, the Browns could be open for business there.
I think they will be either way.
Either way?
Yeah. They're taking phone calls, bud. Doesn't mean they're not going to pick the number 2, but you can kick the tires.
So we talked a little bit before the show. You wouldn't take either guy?
Not right now here today. No, I'm not sold on either. But I haven't done the deep study on either, but I've seen a ton of Cam over the last week studying Damian Martinez and Elijah Arroyo. He's got a high ceiling, but that floor scares me, man. Like I said, man, I don't know if I see a top 8 quarterback. I see flashes of a top 8 quarterback, but I saw that with other quarterbacks that we've had, and you need to be able to feel confident in their floor to be able to get you through. And I don't feel that way as of today. But there are teams out there that might value both of them that way. And then that's the teams you're trading with, because they don't care whether, if the Raiders are cool with either one of those dudes, and they would trade us, and you fall back to their spot, and they're going to get whoever they get, because they'll just be at 2. 2's the furthest you can be out in this draft because of the lack of top tier quarterbacks and still get kind of action pre-draft.
Yeah. That's about my assessment as well. Fumble. Yeah.
Wow. There's wow and there's WTF. Like there's boxes he checks going both ways.
It's like, I think they both could be good, but at 2, can you just take a guy that you think is going to be average to good?
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to be a top 8 dude in my mind. You have to have the ceiling of a top 8 guy consistently.
But you also have to weigh the opportunity as well.
Yeah, because you don't know if you're ever going to be this high.
How many times do you get the opportunity to take a guy that, even if it's projection is good that has the skill set and some of the traits these guys have.
Yeah. And your plan.
Yeah.
How does that marry in with your plan for what you want to do
Yeah.
and what do they do? What matches up there? And, we talked about it pre-show, but I believe that there's an untapped part of Ward's game because he uses his legs, but he doesn't use it to run. He uses it to buy time and do the
Yeah.
hero stuff. But I think that if early in his career, if you could coach him into using his legs to getting 6-7 yard chunks and getting down and staying safe, you could automatically raise his floor a little bit, which would make me feel better because his floor is what scares the hell out of me. But
Jacob says Ward's ceiling is better than good. I wouldn't argue with that. I think
it's his ceiling top 8. That's my threshold if I'm taking.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe top.
He would have a
12.
top 8 arm.
No.
You think you could pick 8 quarterbacks with a better arm than him? I don't know if I could.
Yeah, he might. Cam Ward feels way, way more coachable and developmental. Feels like Shedeur is closer. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. That the thing with Shedeur is he's already worked with the best of the best coaches, the best of the best trainers his whole life because of Pops, right?
Yeah.
Because of Deion.
Yeah.
He's already worked with every good coach and the best trainers in the world, and this is where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much better he gets.
It just depends on the coordinator he's with and how many easy answers they supply for him to help get the ball out, because I think that's his Achilles heel. That's a young quarterback problem. But he takes terrible sacks. Absolutely horrendous sacks.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's not about even what we think of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think more than thinking that more than what I think, and I think that if Cam were there at 2, I would have to seriously consider taking him.
Yeah, that's because of the ceiling. That's
because of the ceiling. Yeah,
but you would find out what their belief is pretty quick.
But that's where I'm at. I personally don't believe that they will fall in love enough with either guy to take them at 2. Maybe Cam. Maybe. I don't think they'll fall in love enough with Shedeur to take him at 2. And you got to love him, boy. I'm telling you can't settle.
How much of it is, though, we just got the circus to leave town and you just be inviting a different circus?
I know. And I'm trying to put that out of my mind because it's such a deterrent for me.
Damn hard, man.
To think about the crap that would come with Deion and all that, right?
Yep.
But if Cam got to 2, or I mean, really, if they love him, if they love Cam, they could go to 1 and get him.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it earlier, though. Like if Cam interviews well and he's tight with it on the board, you know what I mean, and he has his crazy recall and he's able to really impress you and wow you with his football IQ, because he's the guy he's jumped around. He's been to 3 different colleges, 3 different systems. He's gotten them all down. He's obviously a quick learner, quick study in that regard. So maybe he'll be able to impress in the room and give people give the evaluators enough of a feeling of confidence to feel that the ceiling is there and they can develop that.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill. I mean, I've been saying this for weeks. You literally will have Deion. I mean, if
every show ever,
Cleveland radio calls him after a bad game or whatever, he's going to be on drive time radio every week talking about Stefanski and what offense they're running and why Shedeur this and that. I mean, it would be an absolute nut, just insane.
It won't even be just that. It'll be national shows, man. It'll be.
I know.
You know what I mean? Everything. He'll talk to everyone.
It feels like it could get really out of hand really quick.
Yes.
If it didn't go right from the get. You know what I mean?
If there's any missteps, there's going to be an automatic trying to blame, get out from underneath of it and win the national narrative. And the Browns won't do that, but this man will. This man will have no problem.
I mean, that's hilarious, Mike. The idea that he's trying to coach him again at the pro level should tell you a lot, right?
Tells me a lot. I agree. I want no part of it.
So we're in agreement that like maybe Cam.
Yes.
That's where I'm at. Maybe Cam.
He's the only quarterback I view that with a ceiling worth risking.
And that's a big maybe for me.
Yeah. Well, because look, man, Abdul Carter's a real player. You could just take that and feel
he's a generational talent.
Feel pretty safe about the pick. Whereas Cam, you're kind of on pins and needles, hoping that it works out.
Or Hunter,
if you have a plan for him, it depends what your plan is. How you view him. Like my problem with Hunter is for the Browns specifically. I view him as a zone corner. We don't particularly this iteration of coaching staff don't run a ton of zone. Could you really utilize his talents? Skill set wise, as a receiver, pretty close to Judy. Skill set wise,
yeah. So I think what you said, I've been saying the same thing for weeks. It depends on where he lands on your board as a corner and as a wide receiver. Because how realistic is it that he's going to go play 85 to 100 snaps in the NFL? I don't think very realistic. I also think it's bizarre to try to play him full-time on offense and a little on defense. And I know some people think that he can do that, but that doesn't seem right to me. I think the only way you can really use him is as a corner and have packages for him on offense.
Yeah.
That's the only way guys have ever gone both ways in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
When Deion did exactly what you're saying, that's what Deion did.
Yes. Yeah. And so did a number of guys, right? Devin Hester. No, he became a wide receiver, I guess.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of? That there are other corners that played.
Ty Law did it. Or not Ty Law, sorry. Troy Brown for the Patriots. Troy Brown for the Patriots did it.
Yep.
In their Super Bowl, for the first Super Bowl run.
There's somebody else.
I thought Chris Gamble was going to try it. He didn't do it.
Bill saying, with the generational quote, Tennessee, look at it through this lens. What if Carter goes to the combine and sets records in every test available? The athletic ability would be considered generational.
That was Daniel Jeremiah's take, is that he felt like they might have been referencing Carter when they said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. Once again, what's newsworthy is that it's not a quarterback that they're talking about.
Yep, I agree.
So, but if you view Hunter as the best wide receiver on your board, take him. If that's what you want. If you view him as the best corner on your board, fine. I don't see him as the best of either.
Yeah, I don't either. But I do agree. He's very explosive. He can give you some things that maybe other receivers can. I like Tat McMillan personally, but I see the argument for Hunter. I can't discredit the argument that people would have Hunter over T-Mac, you know what I mean? But I think Will Johnson, but it's also style of play. Will Johnson would just fit what this team does better than Hunter would as a corner.
Right.
But can Hunter play safety too? He could be position agnostic. If you're looking for a mover,
he can play whatever you want.
That's what it comes down to. What's your plan for this player?
Yeah. You got to have a plan for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to fit what you do. Once again, I just wonder how much he's actually. At what point does it become a little bit of a novelty that he does both, And that's where the value, like how much value is truly there if he can't play 90 snaps at the NFL level, which I think is a stretch. Like
He's pretty slight
if
of
he's
frame too, man. This is a brutal game,
yes,
dude. You're going to be asked to step up and run fits on defense, and
yes, my
blocking
point
on offense.
exactly. Like
Yeah,
and so if he's gonna be one or the other primarily, and you're going to take him in the top 5, then he needs to be at the top of your board either way and take the extra as a bonus. I don't think 10 plays on offense is enough value to boost him from 10 to 3.
no,
That's my point.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
But yeah. Yeah, he did, Jason. I just think playing that at the college level and playing it at the NFL is a lot different.
And not at the top college level either. Like
Right.
it wasn't like they were playing world beaters. But you play who you play. I can't be mad at the schedule, but like it's wasn't like we seen him do that in the SEC or the Big Ten. That would make a difference to me.
Yeah, I mean, money-wise, wide receiver
Mhm.
is the way to
Yeah,
go.
I touched on that today on Sports for CLE, man. It's like if you're his agent, it's like, look, man, you could be high, you could be top 20-ish and make top tier corner money and never even touch the tip of the spear of your position that you would have to be at corner to make that kind of bread. You can set your family up way quicker as a wide receiver in the NFL currently.
Yeah. So that's where we're at with the draft quarterbacks, right? At least
Yep.
we're in agreement at this point.
Yep.
I
As boring as agreement
personally,
is, I think that's the way I see it as well.
yeah. So, you were gone last week. I had a couple guests on. We had Jeff on, and then I had A. Marie on, who's a diehard Vikings fan. She made some good points about Darnold not making it out of Minnesota at this point. You see the picture of McCarthy looking real skinny on the sidelines in their playoff game, and you see the idea that they have plenty of money to spend. They could go 40 million on the books, 40 off with the
Yeah.
franchise tag, and just push this out 1 year and feel a lot better about what they're doing. I wonder if they don't just do that.
JJ having a secondary surgery on the same knee when it was just a meniscus is super worrisome, and I think that kind of clouds the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had meniscus surgery. It's not as complicated as doing an ACL or MCL, PCL, dislocated kneecap, things like that. But the fact he had to have a second one like that, obviously, and and here's the thing is O'Connell knows what he has in Darnold. So if they make that move, it'll speak volumes if they franchise tag him.
Yeah. I don't know if he sees free agents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a how is this titled here? Give me 1 second. So this is QB Index from NFL.com. 6 free agent quarterbacks teams can't let hit the open market this offseason, right? And it goes Darnold, right? Russ from Nick Shook. Marcus Mariota.
Is he that much of a support system for?
Yeah,
JJ?
Mariota proved this when the Commanders lost Daniels in their Week 7 win over Carolina. A romp in which Mariota tossed 2 touchdown passes after Daniels exited. He showed it again in the regular season finale, leading a frantic final drive. He threw that dime to McLaurin for the win, right? they have Tyler Huntley on here. Miami has paid dearly for failing to have an adequate backup. Sending Skylar Thompson out for a playoff game in the 2022 season.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So he's, saying that he should be the guy in Miami.
I would push back on that hard.
As
Their
the
offense
backup,
is so specific to what Tua does. You have to try to get someone who's closer to Tua's mold, who's getting the ball out quick. It's all based. I don't know. I mean, I know they took us to the woodshed, but I don't think that's the bar. You know what I mean? Like if I'm the
he was
Dolphins, 'cause
so
you definitely have to have a contingency plan because Tua's. I mean,
he was so efficient against us. It was crazy.
yeah, it was.
Shocking.
It was his career day, but like we're not the bar, not especially not that version of us that late in the season. We were in shambles, man. So it's. I would just think I would look for quarterbacks who just have quick releases and can be spoon fed because that's what McDaniels does for you. I don't know. I just don't look as like Huntley is like you have to have him.
No, I would agree with that. You could probably find somebody better.
I would think so. Who just does that specific thing that can be coached just to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, it's very fit. It's just got to be out quick. Got to understand what we're doing here.
Yep.
Huntley's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none type guy. So with all of that, another interesting position for the Browns is I was kind of perusing through the silly season topics, also at NFL.com, running back index. Mm-hmm. Team fits for 6 running backs to become free agents. Now we know this is a great draft class for running backs, right?
Yes, sir.
But there are going to be some free agent running backs. And is this Shook again? No, this is Maurice Jones-Drew doing this article. Former running back in the NFL. Yeah. But yes, Aaron Jones is going to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. He has Las Vegas. Najee Harris. I got asked about this on Sports for CLE on last Friday, about a link between Harris and the Browns. And I was like, not explosive enough. Too much of the same for me. Thoughts?
He could be a piece of a committee. He can't be my workhorse.
Yeah.
The ratio that he got the ball and Warren got the ball in Pittsburgh should have been reversed.
Yes.
And I'd have no problem with that.
Yes.
I'd have no problem if a guy gets 2 or 3 series a game and is that hammer and kind of plays that role. But when you're using him as the workhorse, he's a decent receiving back. But he's,
Yeah.
Why would I pay him when I could just draft Ollie Gordon in like the 5th round?
Right.
The same fucking player.
Yeah, I mean, show me a guy, I guess, here on this list that you would take and why versus some of the guys in the draft that you can even get day 2.
Day 2 or day 3. There's so many of them, man. There's a lot.
Right. So, Javonte Williams, does he do anything for you? He's still 24 years old. That's hard to believe.
Yeah. Such a disappointing because when he came out of the gate for Denver and it was like, oh, they got a dude. And then injuries, and he never was able to get back to that level that he
injury in 2022.
Yeah. So
he's been.
We're good on injured.
Right?
I'm good on injured players, bro. I am. Stocked on
which brings
players.
Me.
Please.
Yeah, which brings me to the next guy, J.K. Dobbins, age 26. I mean, these guys have had too many injuries, right? Like at the running back position. The one thing that's good about having 11 picks in this draft is you can restock your running back room with explosive young dudes and rebuild this thing. Mm-hmm. Jacob's saying he likes roughly 16 running backs.
I think they'll be close to 20 drafted.
So, did you see that PFF gave Jerome Ford Browns breakout player of the year over Jerry Jeudy?
I did.
Shocking.
I mean,
Shocking call.
yeah,
Jerry Judy?
yeah. Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to pay off.
What is that one?
Someone there has an infatuation with Jerome Ford. Look, man, Ford has a skill set. It's incomplete. It needs to be added to. There needs to be other elements added to that room. But I don't know. They're in a sticky situation because I do want them to re-sign Chubb if they can get him back on the cheap and see if he can bounce back. It's usually the year after, and if he can, it's all good. But you could not pass this running back class up. There is going to be gut dudes, and whether you're drafting them to be starters day one or you're drafting them to be starters down the line, they're there to be had, and you have to take them. And if that bumps people out, that bumps people out. And if that means Ford's bumped out, I do what I do, man. You can't let the tape doesn't lie. Like if you see guys who you think you could utilize more and give you a more complete skill set, like I like what Ford does as a receiving back. He doesn't run crisp routes. He's a good outlet back, does good work with the ball in his hands and open space, but he can't pass protect. And I can't use him as my workhorse. Like where do you fit in this equation?
Agreed. I mean, it's a remake, right? That room. With the exception of maybe Nick Chubb, just because I don't want to give up on him.
It's a lottery ticket. I don't want to give up on him. You can tell Andrew Berry doesn't want to give up on him, but if the price isn't right, they have to. If you get him back, if he signs close to what his vet minimum would be for his years accrued, cool.
Yeah, who's going to sign him for anything more than that?
I think that Nick understands that we will value him more than other clubs. I think he understands that.
I think he does too. And there's a reason for that. And the Browns understand that. That's always like that with guys like him.
Mm-hmm.
The team that has you will value you more than anybody else. Scattaboo, I was looking at some of the data on him. It's a little underwhelming compared to the film. I know you got to match it, but
yeah. Look, I view him different than most people.
Yeah,
I see a nasty third down back. Nasty. Yeah. His pass protection, he needs to ease the hell up on the kill shots. He'll dip his head and try to nuke a linebacker. That won't work at the next level. But his hands, his ability to move in space, and his versatility to line him up anywhere. You can line him up literally out wide and let him run slants. Like he's really nasty, and as a third down back in my mind. And he can give you that value right away. And he runs frenetically, like he almost needs contact, to settle himself,
level him out.
Yeah, it does, dude. But dude, I really see 2020 Kareem Hunt. Like he's going flying around the edge, but he'll be a good short yardage back, a good pass catcher, and he can do that right away. Maybe he evolves into more of a runner. He's old. He's an older prospect, and he's going to test poorly.
23 in February.
If he's there, and yes, he's an older but dude, he was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school and had to go to Sac State for 2 years. I watched him field an onside kick and run it back. I also, dude, he runs the ball like a 12-year-old and someone stole his bicycle. He's just so angry. It's so much fun. Probably the funnest tape is Cam Scattaboo, but I don't look at him as a workhorse running back. I look at him as I think he could be an elite third down back.
You there?
Yeah. Yeah. Did I drop out?
I lost you for a minute. Sorry about that. Why you did that? Sorry.
Uh-oh. Want to go solo?
Do this. We're gonna. I want to do a mock.
Okay.
But I wanted to grab something here first. Am I still breaking up?
You were there for a second. I'm more consistent now.
I'll just get out of this so it stops doing that. What about now?
Good.
You
Crystal
good?
clear. 4K. I said it, then you blurred. There we go.
Okay. Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, let's do a mock. You want to do a mock?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Mock it up.
We'll combine for the mock. I was trying to bring up Jack's sheet with the ages on it, but my computer didn't want to cooperate. So. All right. Let's throw this baby up there. Can we see it? Can we see that?
I can see it.
All right. Rounds 7. Turbo, right?
Yeah. 11 picks.
No reason.
Got to do the damn thing.
All right. Are we good with the regular settings here? PFF. Yeah.
If you're cool with them, I'm good.
Yeah, I find no reason to tinker. All right, here we go. On the clock, start draft.
Oh, they went Cam Ward.
All right.
They went Cam Ward. Let's see what those trade offers are, bro. Let's see what's happening for the number 2.
All right, let's see what
are they talking?
Hold on, how do I do this? Is it too big? Is that what's going on here? Hold on. I think it's too large. Let me shrink it. That's what she said. Doesn't fit. All right. Here we go. Trades. Can you see? Can you guys still see that?
So we would drop back to 5.
All right.
So what they're trying to do?
Yeah, 5. They want 33 as well. So they want us to drop back to 36, 67 to 70. No. These are all swaps. 94 up to 88. 102 back to 105. This is just swapping all your picks.
I like the 5 idea, but if you don't get anything to sweeten that pot, man,
you're not even getting another.
No, you got to throw me. Yeah, that's not cool.
And then they just gave us a bunch of late round.
Or is that saying not? Jacob's saying that's not an offer. That's not.
What?
He's just saying those are their picks. So do we choose?
No, there's 6 trade offers to look at. Am I missing where they are?
It says we have to make the offer. Then why do they say trade?
What?
Come on, PFF, get your shit together.
They're supposed to be offering us.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to offer a trade. I want to know what these 6 offers are right here.
We have to make the offer? I don't like this. We shouldn't have to make the offer.
Why would we make?
That's not how this works. PFF.
Why would we make the offer? No trade.
Everyone in the chat saying it doesn't work like that on PFF. If a team is interested, we have to make the offer. Well, that's bullshit.
All right. Well, let's see who's interested.
Jacksonville at 5 and try to get our pick.
Whoever is coming up is going to want a quarterback, right? To 2?
Yeah. If you're screaming up to 2 to get something, you believe in Shedeur Sanders.
So it's Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Minnesota, the Rams.
Cincinnati wouldn't be getting a quarterback though.
No, neither would the Vikings.
Drunk needs to go home.
Maybe the Rams. Commanders, definitely not. Titans, no. I'm not doing a trade.
Yeah, right. I don't want to fall back any more than 5 or 6 anyway.
Right.
I want to swing at talent.
Well, I mean, why would Jacksonville want to come up to 2?
Well, I can see Cincinnati come up 2 for Abdul Carter. I can see that being a thing. Or maybe even Hunter if they're not going to pay T.
Who do you want? Who would you take here if it's not a quarterback?
Abdul Carter.
Me too.
I'm picking it 2, and you're telling me I got to pick it 2.
You want to take him?
Yeah, I want to wreck shit. If we got to pick it 2, give me a guy that I think
If we
you
don't
add
have a
that
quarter,
to what they already have, man, and it's
Pete keeps
it's
saying if
problem.
we don't have a quarterback, then nobody gets a quarterback. Abdul Carter, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, take your soul.
Shador goes 3 to the Giants. Tet, Hunter all the way down at 7 to the Jets. Will Johnson, Genty to the Bengals.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Jack Sawyer to the Buccaneers. All right, we're on the clock. Marion Hampton.
I like both those DTs, Sanders and Nolan.
Okay.
I like Wyatt Millum. I see Wyatt Millum the same way I saw Talise Fuanga last year. Everyone's saying he's a guard. I think he can play tackle.
Really?
I've got smart people that have agreed with me, like Jacob Roach.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I was just throwing it out
there.
I
like a Marion Hampton. I think he's very skilled. I think you can get better value through running back later.
Yeah, I don't want to take one this high when there's such depth.
I like Ayamanor. I'll say this because me and you talked about it with what Puka does for the Rams offense.
Yeah.
I think Ayamanor can do similar things because he's willing to be dirty and he's willing to, you could get him to do some extra stuff. But I would take a guy that I think can be your left tackle.
You like him better than these defensive Sanders, Nolan. You think Millum can?
I think he'd be
a
bigger difference maker for our team right now today.
All right, let's do it.
And I like Nolan and I like TJ Sanders. But you're not really hurting a defensive tackle right now today, and you're hurting it offensive tackle. You need people.
Yeah. You need somebody that you can plug in there. In case what's his name?
DeJuan Jones?
DeJuan isn't back. And he can't run block either. All right. Safety, Sebastian Castro, Tyler Booker. Safety, Kevin Winston, Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Milrow.
Okay. Dude, Jalen Milrow at this number? I feel pretty comfortable about that.
Let's do it. You want to do it?
You got Rees as your OC. You know what I mean? I like Savanaia. There's the players there, but if you can get a guy who could potentially be your dude for the future,
I like it.
Snag him.
I like it. Trey Harris.
There's Donovan Jackson. Hold on.
Yeah, why is he there?
I don't know. I think someone screwed up. PFF. I think that number that will get changed.
Anybody else intriguing here for you?
Oh, there's going to be people. Yeah, for sure.
Let me look at something real quick. Trey Harris is interesting.
Yeah.
6'3". He's a little slow. but a lot of people have him in their top 5 wide receivers.
Go slow
that
for
I,
me here. I'm gonna see, make sure I'm not missing something.
that I've seen. Where you at with Rucker? Not that we need another edge.
Yeah.
Is Donovan Jackson overkill? No, because you
No,
can
you
move one to
can't. Do you see
guard.
our offensive line? You can't, dude. I would take Donovan Jackson right here,
All
and
right,
I agree with him. In the same fashion, like, look, man, he might be a guard. He might not be a tackle, but he's going to play for you. Like, I have no
same
problem with.
with the other guy. So
Exactly, dude.
yeah,
At worst, you end up with top tier guards. At worst, I can't ignore that.
yeah,
I
I
can't ignore
agree.
that, man. And he doesn't
All right.
lack the length. He's a thick sucker though. But like he played excellent down the stretch, man. I am a proponent of letting guys fell inward because if you start them
Yeah,
at guard, then they have to graduate to tackle, which seems like it never happens. But if you start them at tackle, and you can always fail inward, I'm completely cool with that.
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at NFLDraftBuzz.com.
Mm-hmm.
They have Milam as their second tackle
Yeah, good for them. Stand on it.
ahead of Will Campbell.
Stand on it. He's nasty, man. He's nasty.
So what do you want to do here? We've got a safety. We've got the safety from Texas, RJ Harvey from UCF. Another safety.
Harvey's older. I don't know if he'll.
Center.
I don't know if they'll be. I mean, he's a dude. He makes people miss. So I like Harvey, but he is older. I don't know if they would do that.
Yeah. Jalen Noel, Barrett Carter, Jacob Parrish.
I like Parrish.
We should be looking at for a corner at some point. Where's he at?
We're dipping in him. A couple running backs I like too, though, down this way.
Where are you? Who are you looking at?
Right there,
Martinez.
Damian Martinez, 6'2", 220, Punisher. Played for a couple years at Oregon State, transferred to Miami. A lot of meat on the bone with that kid, man. He's a powerful guy. If you can't get a Caleb Johnson, I have no problem with falling back and taking a Damian Martinez. 20 years old, like he's legit.
All right, let's do it. I like it. You got to get it back.
He's a thumper. He is a thumper.
It's a long stretch right here.
Yeah, this is the one.
Just checking Ewers at 159.
Good for him.
Jared Wilson, center. David Walker, edge. Rourke, Brosmer, Jake Majors,
Nothing about
cornerback
him.
Tommy Hill.
Cool name. Ooh, I like Upton Stout.
Upton Stout, safety, Western Kentucky. You do like him?
Yes, sir.
What about
let's see what else we got though. Let's
Mondin Jr.
I've done no work on linebackers. They're going to be my last group, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Unless you're a headliner, I haven't really got eyes on you at all.
What about Luke here?
Luke Lachey? You can't, dude. If you tell me you're drafting a tight end from Iowa, the pushback you'll get from me is none.
None. That's what I was thinking. All I saw was Iowa and tight end. Let me look at tight ends here. See what we can find out about this kid.
Son of Jim Lachey, Buckeye legend. You can start there. NFL bloodlines.
6'6", 247. Lachey
probably not a twitchy athlete, probably a road grader.
Yeah. Projects as a high upside tight end prospect with day 2 draft potential. His overall player rank of 54 suggests he is viewed. Sorry.
I don't believe so, Kramer. I don't think that's Nick Lachey's brother.
Nick Lachey.
I'm building questions.
He brought
Equals
a
Dalton
football
Schultz. Okay, so
pedigree.
first off, we can't have him block Karlaftis one-on-one. That's a rule.
Lacks elite speed and explosiveness. May struggle to consistently separate.
Just say that he's white.
Blocking technique needs refinement, particularly in drive blocking situations where he can struggle to maintain leverage.
It's most tight ends. It really is.
It's coming off a significant ankle injury that cut short his 23 campaign, raising potential durability concerns.
Can you do me a favor and can you filter and see what tight ends are left on the board and where he ranks among the people that are left?
Sure.
Because look, make no mistake, you're going to need more tight ends. You literally only currently have 2 on the roster. Can you guess who the second one is? I know you know the one.
They still want us to take a quarterback?
I'm not mad if we want to take a flyer on someone late, but I feel getting Milrow at like 67. That's
Mitchell Evans.
Okay.
Let me see here.
Well, sometimes these Sims haven't gotten to everyone yet.
No,
and
I know.
Trevor Sikkema does his shit. Like I've no doubt that he's scoured the ends of the earth, and I've actually heard him and Connor's tight end preview. So came out today actually.
Who was the safety left?
Upton Stout.
Stout?
Yeah, from Western Kentucky.
What about corners? Anybody here? I didn't mean to do that.
That dude gets called for so many penalties.
Yes, he does. Kobe.
I don't like the corner board. Which they're going to take one, but they ain't us. We ain't got to do it.
No, I'm not doing that. Let me go look at safeties real quick. We're not that worried about wide receiver in this draft, are we?
It depends on how the board falls. I don't force it.
Let me go back to all.
Yeah, go back to all.
You son of a... How do you get back to all? You just take them all off, huh? There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Curtis Rourke staring us in the face.
What do we know about Peebles?
He will be at the Senior Bowl. It was announced today he's going to be on the national team, the team that Jacques Césaire is the defensive coordinator of. That is the extent of my knowledge.
No, I appreciate that tidbit. Let me look here. I'm scouring. But the wide receivers are Felton and White. We may have to take
answer your question, Jacob, because Trey Sikkema evaluated him as a safety and not a nickel. But I agree that I think he is a nickel. Oh.
What?
There's an old man right there, Jaquavius Marks, Woody Marks, USC. He's 24 right now. I think he'll be a nasty receiving back in the league. I think he'll be an outstanding receiving back. But he's old. Like 24 right now.
How old is Felton? .62. Senior from 6'2", 181. Senior from Maryland. A little slow in the 40. Route running technician who can shake defenders at all 3 levels. Excellent body control.
Yeah. He'll be at Senior Bowl. The guy above him, Ricky White, will be at the shrine.
Lacks burner speed. Frame needs bulking. Late bloomer whose production spike raises questions about sustainability. May face a learning curve. I don't. Yeah. You want to take Upton?
Yeah, but you're getting a guy that I think is going to be more of a nickel than he is a safety.
That's fine.
Yeah, we got to find one.
Well, I need one.
I
need defensive backs. Period.
And Upton Stout's your guy then.
Let's do it. Does he got some dog in him?
Yeah, and he's going to be at the Senior Bowl. He'll have a lot to prove next week.
This David, nobody wants.
Anytime you get a guy, that's the reason I love the Senior Bowl too, is because you get a more apples to apples comparison when you bring these smaller school kids in and they get to compete.
Jaquidian Jackson and Jaquavius Marks next to each other.
I would take Marks just because I think he's going to be excellent, but he's old. I don't think.
Why is Jackson Dart still on the board?
Because Trey Sycamore thinks he's like the 16th quarterback or something.
Dude, he's going to go in the first round.
I don't know if he'll go in the first round. We'll see. He's another guy.
You want to make a bet? You want to put the spam bet down right now? I'll bet you a spam sandwich Dart goes in the first.
I'll take your spam sandwich bet.
All right. Put it down. Write it down, chat. Somebody
Kramer.
Kramer, you hear? Kramer spam. Yep. There it is. The spam sandwich bet.
I don't think he'll go in the first. But quarterback is the one position where that shit happens.
You guys are all yelling about this. You watch. Dart sucks. Dart in the first. Okay. Wait and watch. And then you can all tell me that I'm right.
We'll find out April 24th.
Bill, I'm not saying he's not a third or fourth down prospect. I'm saying that teams are thirsty. And
Bill, I have a question about your comp. You're saying like he's Jake Plummer, but in the year 2025, like the same Jake Plummer, he's just like 50 years old.
Who, me?
No, Bill's comp at the bottom of his thing. He says he's Jake Plummer in 2025.
Howard is not going before Dart, Philly.
Will Milroe go before Dart?
So I know Sycamore doesn't like him, but I think most people think that 3 and 4 are Milroe Dart or Dart Milroe. And I do think that 4 quarterbacks go in the first round.
So, Bill, you don't like Jake Plummer? I take it. MC's with
he obviously doesn't like Dart either. I'm not saying Dart is tremendous. I'm not saying he's like.
Look, there's a lot of smoke around him right now for a reason.
I'm just saying he's gonna land in people's top 4. The data on him is excellent, and that somebody is gonna reach on him because they want a quarterback. He jumped. You watch his 23 film to 24. He made a huge leap, in my opinion. And I think that someone will take him in the first, no question.
Hey, MC, slow your roll, bro.
With a tomato.
Slow your roll.
What
I'm
are
not
we
doing
talking
that.
about now?
I'm
Why
not
are
doing
tomatoes being thrown into the mix?
That was not part of the bet. I will not do that. I refuse.
Why are tomatoes being thrown into the mix here?
I don't have many fears in this world. Tomato is one of them. I cannot eat a tomato. I cannot see someone eat a tomato. If a
Why are
tomato's
you
on any
afraid of tomatoes,
dude,
dude?
tomatoes are the worst thing ever. They taste like bitter disappointment. You know how many days I've had
Not even
ruined
on
because
like a not
some
even
fast
on
food
like a
worker don't listen
nice
to instructions and slips a tomato on a sandwich. Like,
not even on like a nice turkey sandwich
dude, you just ruined that turkey. No, dude, it's bit.
with a thinly cut fresh
Dude, I'll
tomato?
throw up on air. No, no,
What is
I don't
wrong
give a
with
shit.
you?
What's wrong with you, dude? That's the worst fruit ever invented.
Oh my
Tomato.
gosh.
No. Answer's no.
That's a
If I
hot
lose this bet, the spam sandwich will not have tomato on it.
Bill, once again, I am not saying that Dart is incredible. I'm just saying that teams are going to reach on him because they see potential there. And I'm not saying that your analysis is wrong. I think you're probably right. I mean, you said you see Dart throwing too many times into triple coverage. I can say the same thing for Shador and Cam. I'm just saying teams are thirsty. And I think
Correct.
Milrow,
Can't argue that.
I think Milrow and Dart are going to go in the first. You think I'm crazy, don't you?
Who, me?
Yeah,
No. Dude, you said it. NFL teams are thirsty.
there.
They will reach. Quarterbacks bust more than any other position for that reason.
I can't believe this. This is a hot take about tomatoes.
Oh, dude,
Wild,
tomatoes are the worst, bro. Ugh.
wild take
You can cook
about
them. You can
tomatoes.
roast them. You can
What
do shit
about
with them.
what about on a burger?
Yes, you just ruined that. Dude, I've had so many burgers
Oh my
ruined in my life.
gosh.
Biting into a tomato isn't just, it ruins my day.
First of all, it shouldn't ruin your
The
burger
acidity,
because
the way it makes the back of my teeth feel weird talking about it.
yeah. What about ketchup? What's your take on ketchup?
Ketchup's a bottom tier
Like, listen,
condiment.
I'm not saying that tomatoes are incredible. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, they ruin shit.
you
At no
like
point have
on
I
a
ever been like, man, I'm
burger,
glad they put tomato on that. It's
on
the
a
worst. It's the worst.
sandwich.
And my least favorite is when they dice them bitches because like if I know it's
Okay,
ahead of time, I can
slow
get the
down.
tomato off the sandwich and there might be a slight little residue. It's whatever.
Whoa! We're getting out of control now. You're talking shit about diced tomatoes.
Yeah, they ruin it because you can't get rid of that. Like if they dice a tomato and put it on something, it's
Yeah.
in. There's nothing you
Okay.
can do. It's part of whatever it was.
I was gonna say, all right.
Nah,
First of all,
ketchup's whack, dude. Ketchup's whack. Ketchup's like,
ketchup. Now we're talking down ketchup.
yeah, it's the worst condiment. It's a bottom tier condiment.
I agree. I prefer mustard to ketchup on most things, but like just blatantly wild statements about a condiment like ketchup. This is America, Kinnamon. You can't talk about ketchup like this here.
I can and I will. I can and I will.
Wow.
Ketchup is whack. If you have a choice between barbecue and ketchup, are you picking ketchup?
Yeah, tacos with diced tomato is delicious. Thank you.
I will
Black.
throw that shit into the trash right in front of you.
All right. And then let me just say that this is how much you're overreacting.
You're overreacting. You're getting all offended.
No, you're overreacting because you're
Calmer than
saying
you are,
that
dude.
a
Calmer than you.
slice
Calmer than you.
calmer than you are, dude. You are saying that a slice of tomato ruins a burger and ruins a sandwich when all you have to do is take off the bun and literally reach down and pick up that tomato and throw it to the side.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah, and I've solved
Burger
hundreds of problems that way.
unruined.
Problem is, I have to order everything I've ever ordered, even if it doesn't come with tomato. I have to say no tomato, and you know how many times that gets ignored. So disappointing. Tomatoes are gross. My wife loves them. Like I have to live with them in my house. It's bad enough.
How does
You want to hear the most bizarre part of this, though?
How does Kramer know to even threaten tomatoes to you?
No, he didn't.
How did it
MC
even
did.
come with a
MC
spam sandwich with
knows.
tomatoes? How does
MC,
he
this
already
came
know?
up on Barking Browns. I look, man. Like, I'm being serious, man. I have friends who know of my phobia, and they'll like sabotage me, and like I'll turn around and they'll just take a bite right in front of me of a fucking raw tomato. I can't see the juices. Like, it triggers something in me. Like I said, just talking about this, I feel a weird tingle in the back of my teeth. I
That
don't
is
know. I can't
crazy.
explain it. I don't know what a tomato did to me when I was little, but it's been a lifelong thing. Fuck tomatoes.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
here's the bizarre part. Your boy loves V8. I love V8.
dude,
Explain
that's
Ex-
insane.
Explain that.
That's insane.
You can cook the tomato, and I'm cool with the tomato.
V8 is disgusting.
I know a lot of people. I'm saying I understand that this is a bizarre take.
Like, how can you hate tomatoes, hate ketchup, hate everything about tomatoes, and then say you like
Because I don't
V8?
taste the tomato. I don't even taste tomato and ketchup, to be honest with you. It just tastes like gross sugar. I don't like it. I like the V8. I like the blend. I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I'm a fan of
Wow.
V8. Spicy V8 at that. Give me spicy V8. Thank you.
V8 is delicious from OG Philly, and
OG
V8
Philly
is
is a man of culture.
disgusting from Fumble.
Fumble, we were
So-
on it together earlier, man. What happened?
This is quite.
I like pickles.
I'm cool with pickles.
I like pickles. I like them spicy as well, though. Sweet and spicy pickles, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, sweet.
Yeah, I can't believe we got this far, and you just found out that I have
Dill.
a vendetta against tomatoes.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, this
Always-
is, and it doesn't even make sense. Your vendetta doesn't even make sense. You're talking about drinking V8 and hating tomatoes.
I told you at the end,
just
man.
off the
I said,
wall.
make it make sense. I like V8. And I didn't when I was little. It's like an acquired thing, but then I started drinking spicy V8, and I like it. I don't know what to tell you. And I like roasted salsas. Like, if you roast a tomato, I'm in. But I don't even like marinara sauce. Like, if I have a choice between marinara and garlic butter, it's not a choice. It's garlic butter. Pizza sauce is overrated. I don't know.
Pizza sauce?
Yeah, most tomato-based things suck.
I don't know.
Grillo's
if
pickles.
we can do this show together anymore, Kinnamon.
Whatever, man. This is what gets me booted, dude. Like Fozzie Bear, you're going to be throwing tomatoes at me.
Yeah. I can't believe he tried to tell you had to eat spam with a tomato.
Yeah, dude. It's but in reality, when it was over for me, it was the day that someone told me that technically tomatoes are fruit. I'm like, that is the worst fruit.
If I lose and Dart doesn't go in the first, somebody's gonna fry up that spam, and then I'll eat it, and it won't be that bad.
Same. MC, no one's ever going to argue against that. I definitely need help.
Do you think that Milrow will go in the first?
I think there's a better chance that someone trades into the back end. Yes. The problem is the teams that are picking at the end don't need the quarterback, so you need someone to trade up to get that.
Yeah, but
unless you're a team like the Rams, who are not sure about Matt Stafford's future.
Yep.
That opens that box right there.
How old is RJ? Do you like RJ Mickens at all?
No, I don't. I don't know enough about him. I don't know enough about him to have an opinion.
Okay.
And we're getting to that section in the draft because I've only begun my draft, and I start with the Senior Bowl. I don't. That's my narrow focus right now. Is peripheral in some players, but mostly Senior Bowl or Shrine guys. And then after those All-Star games, I'll expand. The problem is I'm still stuck in my poverty mentality of not having first-round picks.
Yeah.
So starting with the Senior Bowl makes sense because those are always guys in our wheelhouse. Especially now they have underclassmen.
What about Montrell Johnson Jr.? Cypress.
I've gotten eyes on Cypress.
Huh?
I've gotten eyes on Cypress. What else we got?
What do you think about him? No?
No, he's okay. Like, I'm not, He's not going to change our defensive backfield. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Sure.
whoa, 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 whoa. Ty
What?
Robinson, and I'm not saying Ty Robinson.
All right.
There's no way in hell he's here, by the way. Kid's a wrecker.
That's fine.
Big brute dude. Like
79.5.
315. Like
Yeah.
big son bitch. He just
6'6".
crushes pockets.
6'6", 310.
Pocket crusher. This guy.
Grade
Yeah,
75.
ain't a chance in hell he's here. But yes, take that man and don't look back.
Now here's a guy. I love when they haven't gotten to the guys yet. Now here's a guy.
It's when you do so
Every
much draft talk, it's hard not to say that phrase. There are phrases that is hard not to get away from.
I know.
But that's it.
So he played 60 snaps in the A gap, 304 in the B gap, 130 over tackle, 102 outside tackle. Yeah.
No, dude, he obliterates pockets. They just
we need somebody that
not a big stat guy, but I'll tell you, his presence is felt.
Well, that's what we need because Tomlinson ain't gonna be here forever. Can he do what he does?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Eventually, that he could do that, no problem. Lickety split.
Takes him a couple years. But.
Yeah, he does. I mean, dude. I mean, and he's actually gotten better as far as like recording stats, but like he's been doing this the whole time he's been there.
Look, Mickens went
Brute
right
squad.
after. All right, what else do we got here?
Are we up already? Dear Lord.
Yeah, that was fast, right?
Walker.
There.
Raheem Sanders out of okay.
Sakari Franklin.
I'm not familiar with this kid.
No, me neither. Samuel Brown. Look at that contested catch rate. Rather porous.
All right, indulge me. Hit our picks. I want to see what stone have we left unturned. Oh, that's sexy.
Carter.
That's sexy. Oh, Jesus. We did this? Good Lord. Nasty work. Nasty
This
work.
is good work. I mean, I would be really happy with this if this was real.
Yeah.
Carter. Milrow. Jackson.
2 offensive linemen. We got a
Damian
hammer
Martinez,
of a running back.
Upton Stout. Ty Robinson.
Okay.
That's good stuff. And then a bunch of 6s and 7s. So we can go wild here.
Yeah, I think we should.
Right? Can we trade a bunch of 6s and 7s for a 1 next year? Probably not. I'm joking, obviously. All right. Full draft. Let's get back to work.
We're in the 200s, though, right? So
yeah, 200. So you let me know if you see
guardrails out. I'm seeing Bill saying that Powell Ryland there is a double-digit sack guy out of VT.
Where?
Powell Ryland, right there, right above Cypress. Right there, he's double-digit sack guy.
Let's take him.
Yep.
Got him. Got another edge.
And if people fail to take, they did. Someone finally took Woody Johnson.
Or what about Jalen Walker, Indiana?
Altogether.
Pass rush grade, run defense grade.
Yeah, we need to kind of look at linebacker, right? We've kind of ignored that position. And at bare minimum, when you bring these guys in, they can be specials, run specials for you.
Yeah, we've ignored linebacker completely, which is fine.
I wouldn't be mad at taking Cypress either as a corner of this range in the 200s.
All right, hold on. Let me see where this kid comes in on this board and what they think of him. He played at Indiana, right? This guy is way down Walker. Here. Yikes. I say we go. Is Cypress still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Let's take him. We need some young corners too.
And that's what they do. They draft corners.
All right. And then Hancock,
Solid name.
Greg Penn, third. Senior, 6'2", 234. I don't know how much I trust linebackers from Cal. Six five, 315, 22 years old from Clemson. Done. Project. Who else you like here?
Your boy Jackson Dart's still hanging out, dude.
Take him. We
How
got
does that
both.
happen?
We got both Dart and Milrow.
Look at that name. Thor Griffith.
Thor?
His name's Thor.
Oh, here's a kid from Texas. Linebacker. Will Shepard.
Yep, he'll be at the Shrine.
I'll take him. What's my award? Grading our draft. Stay in your seats. Look, they said we should have taken Omarion Hampton. I disagree, sir. Here it is. A minus. A minus.
Get my boy Damien a C. We'll see about
B
that.
plus.
We'll see.
Milrow gets an A minus. Donovan gets an A minus. Damien C plus. We disagree. Upton Stout C. Robinson C minus. Powell Ryland C. Cypress gets a B plus.
It's your boy Jackson Dart getting us that A minus.
A minus. DeMonte Capehart C. C plus. C plus. I actually like Will Shepard. I don't mind him down there.
Gave us a B. Look, down the bottom, they gave us a B overall.
Yeah, well, I disagree. I think this is an A plus.
But if we go up top, if we go to the top, our first half of this draft, we're getting dudes that are players.
Yeah, this is crushing right through here. Up
even
to Ty Robinson.
Ty Robinson's.
Up to Ty Robinson. I would take this draft right now.
Yeah, and not be mad at all. Be pumped. Be pumped to see him.
Here's the first round.
They got it.
I don't think there's any way that Hunter or Johnson make it to 7 or 8.
Kenneth Grant. All right, let's just look position wise. How many linebackers they got going in the first?
I have 1. I'm not counting. 1.
Okay, 2 tight ends.
I just saw a mock that had like 3 going.
Yeah, they got 2 tight ends, which is I think that's consensus. Colson and
Loveland, or Loveland and who?
Yep, some Big Ten jobbies.
Yeah, Warren. All right, Kelvin Banks at 16. Campbell, Josh Simmons.
I am surprised that Simmons' name has stayed as high as it is throughout this process because of the injury. Everyone's still they love his tape so much that it's not dropping him at all.
Is this Connerly kid a true tackle from Oregon?
Yeah, I believe that he is.
Yeah,
I believe
that's what I thought.
I believe that he is.
Isn't there some question about some of these other guys?
There's questions about him. I see a lot of people. I think he's a tackle, man. I love his movement skills, and if he's there at 33, I'd be pumped. I'd be pumped to get Connerly. It's all right, Jacob. We got your OT3.
I love it.
We did great. Good job out of the chat.
Good job. Good job, chat. Thanks for your help, guys. Jacob's got Connerly at 2. Bill's got
crazy movement skills. His athleticism's
5.
Bonkers.
I've won a major award. We do need a center, but in my opinion, I think they will address that in free agency.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the other thing. We're talking all this now, but like a lot of these things that we consider major needs will be addressed. They might not be finished, obviously, but they'll be addressed before we get to this, before April 24th. You know what I mean?
What's happening, Speedball Jones? I love that name. All right. Bill, sorry I couldn't see the went back to school yesterday morning. We took him too.
Capehart has one of our, sorry, PFF's got one of our picks wrongs, I believe, too.
Yeah. And then, yep.
The greatest fruit ever, buddy.
Yeah. Connerly is interesting if he drops a little at 33.
If he's at 33, I would sprint the card up.
Yeah.
We changed the fortunes of our offensive line by taking Millen and Jackson. Feel good about that.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. We'll be doing more of these. We'll also be doing a mock a day at the OBR starting February 1st. What day are you? Saturday?
Yes, sir.
I'm Thursday. So maybe we'll bring my mocks to the show. We'll bring some mocks to the show and break them down. Spam bet is in place.
Yes, sir.
Right? We got to write this down.
We find out April 24th.
I mean, we do these bets, but the spam bet, I know that Kramer's been pushing the spam bet on us like
he's
crazy.
Trying to get my nickname to be Spam Kinnamon, for Christ's sake.
He's calling you Tomato Kinnamon now.
Can't have it. I am here to put water on the Jackson Dart agenda. I can't be eating spam.
Spam Kinnamon. And then, pardon me? Frock. What's he saying?
Them maters.
Oh. Are you writing this down? Oh, so yes. I think along with the spam, let me present this to you. Along with
you can go to hell.
Along with the spam, you have to eat a full tomato on the air.
No. All right, I'll do my counter off. I'll eat a tomato, but you got to eat a dick. I'm not doing that.
Dude, I was just fucking with you.
No,
you got to go all the way there. Eat a dick.
You have no idea what my vendetta. It goes deep.
I was gonna say that along with the spam bet, we should give something away too.
Let's get some more.
Because all of our bets, we give something away.
Let's do that for the draft. Let's do a different draft bet that has to do with that.
Okay. Next draft bet.
Whether it's each of us predict the top 10, whoever gets the most guys in the top, you know what I mean? We'll do something. We have plenty of time. Yeah. We have air to fill, bub, between now and April 24th.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to clip that. It's going to be great. That's going on the All Eyes on Cleveland best of episode. That moment right there. You got to eat a dick.
I think it's fair right there.
It's a fair trade. Tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato. Kinnamon. Tomato. All right. I think we're done.
I think we did it. We did the damn thing. They're saying my voice sounds back to normal, so.
Yeah, you said you do sound normal, actually.
I just had to talk it out and get that frog out of my throat. I did have to cough a few times during this.
So,
try to hit the button most times.
I mean, Ewers isn't better than Dart. McCord's not better than Dart. Gabriel's not better than Dart. Somebody's going to reach on him. Just telling you.
Some people consider a second a reach on him.
That's fine. I'm just saying
It only
they
takes one.
are at a premium, and some only takes somebody to fall in love with them.
Yep.
Yeah, yours is not good. I like McCord better than yours and Gabriel. No?
Oh, I don't have that. I'm not going to die on any hills with Quinn Ewers. I'm not going to give you arguments. But I haven't watched any
No,
Syracuse
I didn't
ball.
say anything about yours. I said McCord.
And you see you like them better than yours, is what you're saying. I haven't done any work
I
on
like him
McCord.
better than yours and Gabriel.
Yeah. And I'm not going to die on a Ewers hill. Like I'm not going to be like he's better than anyone. I don't. What's whatever. That dude should have went back to school. He should have went back to school.
Yeah, he should have. You don't think McCord's better than him?
No, I don't have an opinion, is what I'm saying. I haven't watched any Syracuse ball this year. I've heard he made a great leap. I don't.
Will Howard is intriguing for sure.
Yeah, a big body guy. I understand why he's not going to probably go to Mobile for the Senior Bowl, but I would have liked to see him in that practice environment and have to make certain throws that he didn't have to make at Ohio State and see what his arm talent really is. Because I think that's the biggest question, right? We don't question leadership. We don't question. He's pretty mobile for a big man too. Like
very mobile
enough. Mobile enough.
Feet were good, pretty good. He got now also though, like the sample size of what he did in the playoff versus prior to that, like he elevated his game like major.
Yeah, but how much of that was more of the playbook being given to him? You know, I mean, I'm hearing that argument from analysts. They feel like they took the governor off the offense. That Chip Kelly kind of fed him more to do. You know,
yeah, that makes sense. I'll listen to that.
That was Todd McShay's take right after on the reaction show to the national championship, which is a good podcast. If anyone's out there looking for a draft podcast, Todd McShay has one on the Ringer Podcast Network.
Interesting. All right. Well, continue to do work. Just cracked the surface here. So our mocks will only get better from here.
And we'll be here next week, and that'll be the last day of Senior Bowl practices. So we'll have some answers on some guys.
Yeah, that's good.
And some risers.
Good. Yep, absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Spam bet has been placed, Kramer. I know you'll be monitoring. No tomato talk around here.
We won't play that shit.
We don't play that shit. Thank you guys. Fun show tonight. Appreciate you all of your contributions. And we'll be back next Thursday with another All Eyes on Cleveland. Jacob saying the OBR Senior Bowl preview from.
Yep. Should be out this weekend.
Appreciate you all. Lots of fun. Hit like on your way out. Subscribe. And Kramer saying we need Spam Kinnamon t-shirts made.
Slow your roll. Slow the roll. Let me eat this spam first. And then if you want to print the shirts, I will not get in your way. But I'm not losing this bet.
If Dart doesn't go in the first round, I'll be the one eating the spam.
Yep.
That's all I'll be eating, though.
Well, you didn't want to make that bet. That's okay. I respect you. I respect your right not to make that bet.
Yeah. You guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Keep it locked to the OBR. You guys are killing it over there. Insiders all the time. Draft coverage. Jacob, Casey, Pete, everybody doing a damn doing the damn thing. But appreciate you guys hanging out with us Thursday night. Lots of fun always here on All Eyes on Cleveland. You guys make it fun. So keep it. Speedball Jones, good to see you here. And with that, we're going to get out of here. Have a lovely Thursday evening for everybody at the OBR. For Casey Kinnamon, my name is Brad Ward. We